It's a natural looking makeup tutorial. Hey girl, welcome back to my channel. I am Ursula and I am here to give you a natural looking makeup tutorial. I am beginning with brows first because your eyebrows are the foundation to a flawless makeup application. I am using ColourPop's Bangin' Brunette Precision Brow Pencil, and when I begin doing my brows, I always over pencil at the beginning of the brow so that I can soften it up as I'm doing here using the spoolie. But I outline the brow. I begin at the bottom with the front, kind of extending the front and working my way to the tail, which is the point here, and it should end at the end of your eye, right where the corner is. And then I proceed to fill in the brow. Once I've completed that, I soften it up using the spoolie at the end of the other side of the pencil. Then I sculpt out the brow. Now here, it's really optional. Everyone don't like a nice sculpted brow look. However, I do. So I take a concealer that's 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, and I'm using LA Girl Pro Concealer in Warm Honey to sculpt out the bottoms. You're also cleaning it up. So if you overdrew your brow or you messed up at the bottom, it's okay because you're cleaning it up with your concealer. Then once I get the bottom all sculpted out nice and neat, I then do the top. Now for the top of the brow, I like to use a foundation or a concealer that is the same color as your skin tone. I am using Juvia's Place Stick Foundation here in Cameroon, and it is the same color as my skin tone. And again, I love a nice sculpted brow, and I am showing you this in real time because it takes time when you're sculpting out your eyebrows. It takes time when you're doing a complete face application, a full face application. So once everything is sculpted, I take my fluffy blending brush. This is an e.l.f. brush. And I blend that in. I like to start at the top because that is a darker color than what's underneath. So I blend the top out first, and then I blend out my concealer underneath. And I do this because this is a natural looking makeup tutorial. I'm not doing any eyeshadow. So once eyebrows are completely sculpted, I begin to moisturize my face because your skin, that is number one in your flawless finish. So moisturize your face. I'm using Cortisone 10 with aloe. That's optional. You don't have to use that. And then I proceed to prime my face. And I am using e.l.f. Poreless Putty. This is a primer. And I am basically just patting it into my skin because it's going to give a flawless finish, a matte looking finish. Then I go on to color correct. Now, color correcting is optional. You don't have to do this. However, whenever I do my makeup applications, I like to color correct, especially on my own skin. And what this do is it cancels out the dark spots that you have on your face, which it could be hyperpigmentation. However, it's not that in my case. I have some dark spots on my cheeks as well as my genetically bags they are genetics that's underneath my eyes, and they are a little bit darker, and I bring it all around the corners of the nose, everywhere where I see darkness. I use, this is MAC's Burnt Coral Corrector. And once I place the product everywhere, I then take my beauty blender and tap it into the skin because I don't want it to be wet when I place the next products on top. I am using Maybelline concealer, and I always like to go over my color corrector only underneath the eyes with this concealer. And this is Maybelline concealer in Cafe. And it's a little bit lighter as well, but foundation will go on top of that, which is where we are now. This is Maybelline's Color Stay Foundation in 360. This is a matte. This is the Super Stay Foundation. They no longer have this one. It's now 30 hours, but it's a matte foundation because, honey, I don't want my face to move. I prefer a matte look. And I'm bringing it onto the eyelids because, again, I'm not doing any eyeshadow. This is a natural looking makeup tutorial, which means you'll have all the like this is full face, however, no eyeshadow. And when you're doing your foundation like I'm doing here, if your ears are going to be exposed, you want to bring that foundation onto the ears. What you don't want is any lines of demarcation. So I completely cover my face, bring it down into my neck, over into my ears. And once I'm done with that, now I'm ready to highlight. I highlight in the T-zone area. That's your forehead, underneath your eyes, Cupid's bow, and chin. Once I place that product there, I like to kind of fan it a little bit just to let it dry so it's not too wet. And I begin on the chin. I work that product into the chin. Then I work it up into the Cupid's bow. And now I'm underneath the eyes. And I'm basically blending this concealer underneath my eyes because I don't want any lines, don't want any wrinkles, a flawless finish. That's all you want is a flawless finish. Once I finish with the eyes, I now work my way onto the bridge of the nose. And once I blend it in, I take the butt of the beauty blender and I go over it because I don't want a harsh looking contour, nose contour, highlight. Then I take that foundation brush with no extra product on it and I just blend out the corners, the edges, because you don't want any lines of demarcation. And I do that everywhere I place the highlight. Once I'm done with that, I'm now ready to set in place. And before I set, I like to take that beauty blender and just tap it and blend it out, especially underneath the eyes, because you don't want to set any wrinkles into your face. That is not cute. So I am now placing setting powder using crayon case chalk dust in the letter N everywhere I place that highlighter. That's the eyes, underneath the eyes, Cupid's bow, down the bridge of the nose, the chin, and the forehead. Everywhere. Then now I'm ready to set my eyelids because I'm not using any eyeshadow and I had that foundation on there. So before I set it, I'm blending it out because once again, I am emphasizing you don't want to set any creases into your makeup. It is not pretty. It's not going to be flawless in the end. And that's your ultimate goal, to have a flawless makeup application. Now, since we're done highlighting, it's time to bring the color back into the skin. So I'm starting with Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in Mahogany. And I am going all around the face and I'm working that color back into the skin. And now I am bronzing with Mocha Mami. Mocha Mami is Fenty Beauty's powder bronzer. It's a little bit deeper than the Mahogany. And it just gives it a little bit more depth to the face, contouring your face. More color, snatch the face a little bit more. But now I'm contouring the bridge of my nose. And I like to use Anastasia Mahogany to do this because Mocha Mami is a little bit too pigmented. And I don't want it to be a harsh looking nose contour. So that's why I use Mahogany. Now this is Anastasia's blush trio and I'm using Velvet. I love blush. Everybody don't love blush. This is optional. You don't have to use this. And I want to carve out my cheekbones. So I use the crayon case setting powder to do this. I don't like to bake. So once I do that, I like to take it right off. And it just kind of defines your cheekbones just a little bit more. And now since all of this has been done, all these powders, products, it kind of wipes off your eyebrows just a little bit. So I like to go back in and just kind of bring my brows back to life by just penciling in what kind of faded off. Again, that's optional. Now I'm bringing color into my waterline. Now here You can use black. I'm using NYX Jumbo Pencil in Black Bean. I love to use black in my waterline, but you can use black, white, brown. It's whatever you choose to do. You don't even have to use anything. And now, y'all, somewhere along the way, I touched my face. But now I don't have time to worry about it. I need to get my eyelashes ready for the false eyelashes. So I am using Maybelline's Illegal Length Mascara in Black is Black. And I like to do that so it can blend better with the false eyelashes. And I'm putting the Sassy Glue. I use Sassy Glue in dark on my eyelashes. And I like to put it in place, let it kind of dry, get a little tacky. I like to bring my mold back to life because somewhere along the way, it gets covered up by all the powders and all of the products. So I use NYX Matte Liquid Liner in black to just kind of bring my mold back out. And now look, it takes time to learn how to do this. So don't be hard on yourself if you don't get your lashes. If you choose to wear lashes popped on right away. Let me know if you want a detailed eyelash tutorial on how to place eyelashes. But the lashes are done. Now it's time to move on to the lips. I'm just taking a wet makeup wipe and I am cleaning up all that product that was on the lips. And I'm using NK's Bold Lip Liner. This is a lip pencil from my local beauty supply store in Black Cherry. Lining the lips, getting it ready for this right here. This is Fenty Beauty's Unlocked. This is a beautiful color, y'all. This color payoff I don't think is really showing on camera, but in person, it is popping. So once that's done, I like to melt it all together. Now it's time to set everything together. All those powders, everything will just set right in place. Let it dry a little bit. And once that's done, I like to go in with my mascara and do my lower lash line. And I always do it after I set my face so that I don't have all that black stuff on my face. And voila, this is the finished look. Natural looking, honey.